Hey, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. How many times a week do you go for a walk? Maybe it's every morning before breakfast. Maybe it's an evening stroll around the neighborhood. Maybe you're getting your steps in at the park or the mall. Whatever it is, walking is probably something you do without thinking much about it, right? And that's exactly the problem. Because here's what I've seen over and over again in my years of practice. Patients come in, they're doing everything right. Eating better, cutting back on junk food, not sitting on the couch all day. They tell me, Dr. George, I walk every single day. And they're proud of it, as they should be. But then they're still dealing with knee pain, lower back pain. The weight isn't moving. Blood pressure isn't coming down the way we'd expect. And they're frustrated. And a lot of the time, when I dig into the show of their walking, that's where we find the issue. Because walking after 50 is not the same as walking at 25. Your body has changed. Your joints have changed. Your cardiovascular system has changed. And the way you walk needs to reflect that. So today I'm going to walk you through, pun absolutely intended, the 7 most common walking mistakes I see in patients over 50, why each one is a problem, what it's doing to your body, and exactly how to fix it. Get comfortable, grab a glass of water. You'll understand why I said that by the end, and let's get into it. But really quick before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about giving you honest, practical health information that actually helps you make better decisions for yourself and your family. We are on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and every single person who joins this community genuinely matters to us. So, if you find today's video helpful, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It costs you nothing and it means the absolute world to us. Okay, now let's really get into it. Mistake number 1, walking too slowly all the time. Okay, mistake number 1. This is the one that surprises people the most. Walking too slowly all the time. Now, I want to be really clear here. I'm not saying slow walking is bad. It's not. A gentle, leisurely walk is wonderful for stress, mental health, getting outside. I recommend it wholeheartedly. But if every single walk you take is at a slow, comfortable, I could do this in my sleep pace, you are missing out on some of the most powerful health benefits walking has to offer. Here's why this matters so much after 50 specifically. As we age, our cardiovascular system needs to be challenged to stay strong. Think of it like a muscle. If you never push a muscle, it doesn't grow, it weakens. Your heart works exactly the same way. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. George, I have knee problems, high blood pressure, bad hips. I can't push myself. And I hear you. I'm not telling you to jog or run a marathon. What I'm talking about is something called interval walking, one of the most research-backed, accessible forms of exercise that exists. Here's how it works. It's beautifully simple. Walk at your normal, comfortable pace for 2 minutes, then walk at a brisk pace, where you can still hold a conversation but you're definitely working, for 1 minute. Back to comfortable for 2 minutes, brisk for 1 minute. Keep alternating. That's it. 2 minutes easy, 1 minute brisk. Now let me tell you what the research says, because it's remarkable. Studies out of Japan, replicated in multiple countries, show that interval walking significantly improves VO2 max, how efficiently your body uses oxygen, which is one of the strongest predictors of longevity we have. It improves blood sugar regulation, which is critical for those managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, and it improves cognitive function, memory, processing speed, executive function. Why? When you push your pace, your heart rate rises, more blood and oxygen reach your brain, and you get a surge of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Researchers call it miracle grow for the brain. It promotes the growth and survival of neurons, and interval walking is one of the most effective ways to stimulate it. So when patients tell me they're walking daily but blood sugar isn't improving or they feel mentally foggy, one of my first questions is, are you challenging yourself at all? Very often the answer is no. The fix. Every other day, try interval walking. 2 minutes comfortable, 1 minute brisk, repeat for 20 to 30 minutes. Check with your doctor if you have joint or cardiovascular concerns. But for most people, this is absolutely doable. Start this week, not next Monday. This week. You will feel the difference. Mistake number 2. Looking down at your phone or the ground. Mistake number 2. And I see this one constantly. Looking down while you walk, whether it's staring at your phone, checking your step count every 45 seconds, or watching the ground because you're nervous about tripping. This habit is doing real damage to your body, and most people have absolutely no idea. Let me explain. The average human head weighs 10 to 12 pounds. When it's perfectly balanced on top of your spine, your neck handles that weight easily. But when you tilt your head forward, the forces on your cervical spine increase dramatically. A well-known analysis by spine surgeon Dr. Kenneth Hansraj found that at just 15 degrees of forward tilt, the load on your cervical spine jumps to about 27 pounds. At 30 degrees, 40 pounds. At 60 degrees, basically phone staring position, the load is approximately 60 pounds on your neck with every single step. Imagine doing that for 30 minutes every day, over weeks and months and years. Is it any wonder so many people over 50 deal with chronic neck pain, upper back tightness, and persistent headaches? But here's what makes it even more concerning for our age group. Forward head posture directly affects your balance. After 50, protecting your balance becomes critical. Falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury and loss of independence in older adults. And your balance system relies on proprioceptive receptors in your neck. When that area is chronically overloaded and stiff, those signals get disrupted. You're not just risking neck pain, you're increasing your fall risk. That is something I take very seriously. There's also a breathing component. Forward head posture compresses your chest cavity, and you physically cannot take a full, deep breath. Less oxygen to your heart and brain during exercise, limiting yourself before you even start. And the phone itself? You're missing the curb, the uneven pavement, the cyclist coming toward you. I had a patient, very committed to her health, walked every morning, stepped off a curb she didn't see while texting and ended up with a serious ankle fracture. Months of recovery, completely avoidable. The fix: keep your gaze 10 to 15 feet ahead of you, chin parallel to the ground, shoulders relaxed back and down, not military stiff, just naturally open. Phone goes in your pocket. Glance at your watch, then eyes back up. That's all it takes. It feels strange at first if you've spent years looking down. But within a week it becomes completely natural, and your neck, your balance, and honestly your mood will all thank you. Mistake number 3. Wearing the wrong shoes. Mistake number 3. And this one derails more walking routines than people realize. Wearing the wrong shoes. Here's what happens to our feet after 50. And once you understand this, you'll take it seriously. The fat padding on the bottom of your feet. That natural cushioning protecting your bones and joints with every step. It thins out significantly with age. The arches can begin to flatten. Tendons and ligaments lose some elasticity. Small muscles in the foot weaken if not actively maintained. This is completely normal. It happens to everybody. But it means the foot you had at 30 is genuinely not the foot you have at 55 or 65. And the shoes that worked for you at 30 may not be serving you anymore. Add to that the fact that most people are walking in shoes that are old, worn out, or simply wrong for their foot type, and you have a recipe for real problems. What kind of problems? Plantar fasciitis, inflammation along the bottom of the foot, that stabbing first step of the morning pain, is incredibly common after 50, and wrong footwear is a primary trigger. Knee pain, especially on the inner side, often traces directly back to how the foot is striking the ground. Hip pain, lower back pain. Your body is a chain. When the foundation is off, everything above it compensates, and those compensations, over time, accumulate into chronic pain. The fix: look for these things in a walking shoe. Arch support, non-negotiable after 50. Not a flat canvas sneaker, a shoe that actually supports your natural arch. A firm heel counter. Press on the back of the shoe. It should be firm and stable, not soft and floppy. Good forefoot cushioning. Compensates for that thinning fat pad we talked about. Proper fit. Your feet can actually change size as you age. Get them properly measured. A lot of people are walking in shoes a half size too small, causing toe crowding and contributing to bunions and hammer toes. And replace your shoes every 300 to 500 miles. Most people have no idea how old their shoes are. If you genuinely can't remember when you bought them, they're too old. If you have chronic foot, knee, or hip pain, please see a podiatrist. Custom orthotics are often covered by insurance and can be genuinely life-changing. I've had patients who struggled with knee pain for years, and within a few months of proper orthotics, they were walking pain-free. Mistake number 4. Skipping the warm-up. Mistake number 4. And this one directly causes the most injuries. Skipping the warm-up. Picture this. Alarm goes off, shoes go on, out the door, straight into your walk. No preparation whatsoever. At 25, the body forgives this. After 50, your connective tissue, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, is significantly less forgiving, and forcing it into activity before it's ready is a very reliable way to get hurt. Here's what's actually happening. Your muscles need increased blood flow to function properly. At rest, blood is directed toward your organs. When you start moving, your body needs a few minutes to redirect that flow to your muscles. Push your muscles before that happens, and the tissue is stiffer, less oxygenated, and much more prone to strain. Your joints rely on synovial fluid, the lubricating oil inside your joints. Think of it like the oil in a car engine. After rest, that fluid is thick and hasn't circulated properly yet. Moving slowly before your walk warms and distributes it so your joints move more smoothly and with far less stress. And after 50, cartilage regenerates much more slowly than it did when you were younger. Every time you pound cold, stiff joints, you're adding wear that your body is less equipped to repair. Over time, that adds up. I see this pattern constantly. Patient starts a walking routine, motivated, dives right in. Within 3 or 4 weeks, they've got an Achilles issue, knee flare, hip flexor pain. They blame the walking and stop. But the walking wasn't the problem. The cold start was. The fix. Before every single walk, spend 3 to 5 minutes on a dynamic warm-up. Moving movements, not static holds. Save the static stretching for after. Here's what I recommend. Marching in place. 30 seconds. Leg swings, 10 each leg, front to back. Hip circles, 5 each direction. Ankle rolls, 5 each direction per ankle, heel to toe rocking, 10 slow reps, 4 minutes. That's all. Do it inside before heading out, especially in cold weather. Cold temperatures make everything stiffer. Your body will feel completely different from the very first step. Mistake number 5. Not using your arms. Mistake number 5. This one always gets a laugh in my office, because when I demonstrate it, people immediately say, "Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I look like." Not using your arms when you walk. So many people over 50 walk with their arms just hanging straight down, maybe swaying a little, not really doing anything, or hands in pockets, or clutching a phone with both hands. I totally understand it. It's comfortable. It happens naturally when you're not thinking about it. But here's the thing. Walking is a full-body movement. It was designed to be. Watch a young child walk before they pick up our adult habits. They naturally swing their arms in opposition to their legs. Right arm forward with left leg, left arm with right leg. That's natural, biomechanically efficient human gait. When we suppress that arm movement, the whole system gets thrown off. Without arm swing, your body finds rotational balance through your lower back instead, which was not designed for that continuous rotational load. Hello, lumbar pain. Your core engagement drops significantly. The natural counter-rotation of walking activates your obliques and deep stabilizing muscles. No arm swing. You lose a big chunk of that activation. Your calorie burns decreases. Studies show active arm swing increases calorie expenditure by 5 to 10% compared to walking with arms at sides. Over a year of daily walks, that adds up meaningfully, and your balance actually gets worse. Your arms play a real role in dynamic balance, making micro-adjustments to your center of gravity with every step, especially on uneven surfaces. The fix. Bend your elbows at roughly 90 degrees. Hands relaxed, not clenched, not floppy, just gently curled. Let your arms swing forward and back, not crossing in front of your body, in natural opposition to your legs. Elbows stay close to your sides. It feels deliberate at first, but within a few walks it becomes completely automatic. And most people tell me they feel more energized, more stable, and like the walk is somehow easier. That's because you're finally using the whole system the way it was designed to work. Mistake number 6. Same route, every single day. Mistake number 6. And this one is sneaky because it feels like a virtue, walking the exact same route every single day without variation. And to be fair, there are things I genuinely love about a consistent route. You know it's safe. You know the timing. Routine is powerful for building a habit. So I'm not here to tell you your neighborhood loop is terrible. But if you've been doing the exact same flat 30-minute walk for months or years, I need you to hear this. Your body has adapted, and that's a problem. The human body is astonishingly good at becoming efficient. When you repeat the same movement pattern, your muscles find the most economical way to do it. Your heart rate doesn't climb as high. You burn fewer calories. Your muscles stop being meaningfully challenged. What was once exercise has essentially become a habit your body barely notices. For cardiovascular fitness, you need progressive challenge. For muscle strength, you need varied stress. For bone density, critical after 50, especially for women, you need load-bearing activity in different planes of movement. And here's the one I find most fascinating. Novel environments are neurologically stimulating in a way familiar environments simply aren't. When you walk somewhere new, your brain is actively mapping the space, noticing landmarks, making navigation decisions, taking in new sensory input. Your hippocampus, the memory center, the part most affected in early Alzheimer's, is significantly more active in new environments. On your familiar loop, your brain is on autopilot, fine for stress relief but not ideal for cognitive health. The fix: mix it up. A few easy ways: add hills. Even small inclines dramatically increase heart rate and activate your glutes, hamstrings, and calves in ways flat walking doesn't. Try different surfaces. Grass, gravel, or trails activate small, stabilizing muscles in your feet and ankles that pavement walking never challenges. Excellent for balance and injury prevention. Explore a new area, drive somewhere different, and walk somewhere unfamiliar. New scenery is good for your mood and your brain, and you'll likely walk longer because there's more to see. Even just reversing your regular route is more stimulating than you'd think. The same streets look completely different from the opposite direction. Try it. You'll be surprised. Mistake number 7. Not staying hydrated. And here we are. Mistake number 7. I told you at the start to grab some water. Hopefully you did. Not staying hydrated during your walks. I know. Walking feels low intensity. You're not drenched in sweat like after a run. It doesn't feel like the kind of exercise where hydration is a big concern. But here's the reality, especially after 50. As we age, our thirst mechanism becomes less reliable. When you were young, thirst was a fairly accurate signal of your body's hydration needs. After 50, and increasingly as we get older, that signal starts to lag. By the time you feel thirsty, you may already be meaningfully dehydrated. And even mild dehydration, just 1 to 2% of body weight and fluid loss, has real, measurable effects. Your joints feel stiffer because synovial fluid production decreases. Muscles fatigue more quickly. Your heart works harder pumping thicker blood. Concentration and mood take a hit. Everything just feels harder than it should. For people managing blood pressure, dehydration can actually cause blood pressure to spike as your body compensates for lower blood volume. For anyone with heart or kidney concerns, chronic mild dehydration adds real stress to those systems over time. I had a patient, a gentleman in his early 70s, very active, walked every single morning, who started experiencing dizziness and lightheadedness on his walks. We worked through the possibilities, and ultimately the answer was simple. He was heading out before eating or drinking anything, and 20 minutes and his blood pressure was dropping from dehydration. The solution was 1 glass of water before heading out. That was it. The fix: before your walk, drink a full 8-ounce glass of water every time, whether you feel thirsty or not. Make it part of the routine, just like putting your shoes on. During your walk, for anything longer than 20 to 30 minutes, bring water with you. A small handheld bottle, a fanny pack, whatever works. Take a few sips every 10 minutes or so. In hot or humid weather, add electrolytes, not a sugar-loaded sports drink. Something simple with sodium, potassium, and magnesium. When you sweat, you lose more than water, and replacing only water without electrolytes can create an imbalance. After your walk, drink another glass. Think of it as your cool-down hydration. Consistency is the goal. Not drowning yourself in water. Just maintaining steady, adequate hydration around every walk. All right, my friend. Let's bring it all together. The 7 walking mistakes that are destroying your health. After 50. Walking too slowly, interval walking, 2 minutes easy, 1 minute brisk. Looking down, eyes forward, chin up, neutral spine, phone in pocket. Wrong shoes, arch support, firm heel, good cushioning, replace regularly. No warm-up, 4 minutes dynamic movement before every single walk. Not using arms, elbows at 90 degrees, natural opposition swing. Same route daily, add hills, new surfaces, new environments, not hydrating. Water before, during, and after every walk. None of these are complicated. None require money or equipment. You can start implementing every single one on your very next walk. That's what I love about walking. The barrier to entry is so low and the potential benefits are so high, but only when you're doing it in a way that actually supports your body. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which of these mistakes were you making? I genuinely read every single comment, and I love hearing from you. If this video helped you, share it with someone you care about, a spouse, a friend, someone dealing with knee or back pain. This information could genuinely make a difference for them. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit that bell. So much more is coming. Nutrition after 50, managing joint pain, strength training for beginners, all of it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. You invested nearly an hour in your health. And that says a lot about who you are. Take care of yourselves, move your bodies, drink your water. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.